What's up, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Around here, I'm known as Miss Wallace. The internet knows me as D. Lanice, but you can call me Danny. Today, I want to jump right into talking about the foundation of any OG lesson, dictation. The immediate application of a newly learned skill or concept helps students really solidify their understanding. How do we do that? Through dictation. Dictation is exactly what it sounds like. I say something, the students repeat it. Through every dictation lesson or every part of dictation, you will see students use 3 pieces of material. They take out their dictation paper that they write on, they take out their hat mat, and then they take out a pencil to write with. Because the process of writing is more complex than that of reading, as soon as a student learns a new skill or concept, we immediately go into writing the word through dictation because then it becomes easier to read. I don't make up any of their words or sentences. They are given to us via the curriculum guide. However, I do pick out the words and sentences that I think will most benefit my students. The multi-sensory cue should always be somewhere in sight so that the student is constantly reminded of what skill or what concept they're working on. I always have it on my board. I always have whatever card they're working on either next to me or somewhere close. It may be sitting on the blending board, which is usually right under my clean copy. And I also have them write it on their paper. If you watch the video where I showed you how I organize my classroom, you see that on their new sound introduction paper where they write their dictation words and sentences, right at the top, they also write their new sound and their keyword. That way, when they're doing their dictation, they're pounding and tapping, and they go to write, they also have their new sound, their new skill, their multi-sensory cue right there on their paper. I always start by dictating one word at a time. After I dictate that word, the student pounds the word, then they tap the word to make those phonemes, and then they write the word down. Sometimes we have 5 words. Sometimes we have 7 words. Sometimes we go 10 words. It really just depends on what the skill and concept is. It depends on what the lesson is. It depends on how many options I'm able to choose from in the curriculum guide. There is no set cookie cutter number of words for each lesson. It's really just based on student needs. Wish. Ready? Pound.
Wish. Ish.
Write it down. With. Ready? Pound.
With.
Write it down. We teach students how to pound and finger tap one-syllable words, and we also teach students how to pound and finger tap multi-syllable words, which I like to call bonus words. Last word, within. Ready? Pound.
Within.
First syllable, with. Ready? Pound.
Within.
Write it down. Second syllable, in. Ready? Pound.
In.
Write it down. Most phonemes only get 1 pound and 1 finger tap. So if it's a 1-syllable word, let's say the word is cat, we would say cat, k-at. However, as words become more complex, as we get into digraphs, as we get into blends and things of that sort, those things also only receive 1 tap. Let me just show you. Song, ready, pound.
Song.
Write it down. But every time we do dictation words, once we get through every single word, we flip them over on our clean copy sheet and we're able to check it as a group. Once the students write the words, when we're done with dictation, and we flip them on our clean copy sheet, they're able to quickly recall what the word is so that we can read it and keep moving until we've gone through every single word, and then we move to sentences. Dictating sentences is very similar to dictating words. I say the complete sentence twice, maybe 3 times, depending on how long the sentence is and depending on the attention span of the group in front of me. And then the student repeats the sentence by pounding each syllable. For example, did she wish for a cat? Did she wish for a cat? Ready? Pound.
Did she wish for a cat?
Write it down. Once students pound each syllable of that sentence, they then are told to write, so that it's right at the top of their memory and they can quickly write down each word or each syllable that they've just repeated. Syllable pounding and finger tapping are critical multisensory tools that we utilize every single day. Practicing the commands with students makes this process a lot easier. It makes the process a lot faster, and it allows students to know exactly what to do through each part of the lesson. So as you watch me teach a lesson, you will hear me say things like fingers up, ready, read, when we do 3-part drill, or when we're reading all together from our clean copy. When we're pounding and tapping, you will hear me say things like ready, pound, or ready, write. The reason that we give these commands is because sometimes if a student pounds and finger taps a word, but they're not using the correct phoneme, I don't want them to go directly into writing the word, because then they're gonna write the incorrect phoneme. So students know to wait for whatever the instruction is so that they know, okay, we said the right thing, so we can write the correct thing. Or maybe we made a mistake and we need to repound and re-finger tap that word so that we can hear what our mistake was, we can correct it, and when it comes time to write it on the paper, we know exactly what we're doing. Now, this is not a foolproof plan. Sometimes students still make those mistakes, but in those cases, we guide students to write the words correctly. For example, a lot of students mix up E and I all the time. A lot of students also mix up J and G all the time. In those cases, I allow students to write the word as they would, and then we go back, we take a look at the word, we repound, we retap, and students are able to quickly hear what the mistake may have been so that they can fix it on their paper before we look at the clean copy sheet. Again, that doesn't work all the time either. Sometimes they repound and retap the word and they just can't hear it. So then sometimes I do just have to show them on the clean copy sheet with the correct word or correct letter, whatever their mistake was, we show them the correct form of that on the clean copy sheet, and then they can see their mistake. I have students rewrite their words if there was a mistake, or rewrite their sentence if there was a mistake, so that they can compare what they did versus what I did, and hopefully in the future, they won't continue to make those same mistakes. Students love dictation. They really, really do. If there's a day that we don't do something with dictation, either sentences or words or whatever it may be, they freak out. They feel like they're not learning. They feel like we're not doing a whole lesson, and they really let me have it, okay? Because sometimes they come in, we may just be doing oral reading, or we may go straight into a read word activity or Max Scholar or whatever other thing that there is to do on the agenda, and they just don't like it. They love to do dictation. Sometimes I have them do dictation using the whiteboard if there's a skill or a concept that we just need to practice, but it's not necessarily a part of the lesson. They hate that too. They love doing dictation on their paper because it really, really, really makes them feel like they're learning. It makes them feel accomplished. When I flip the words and sentences over on my clean copy sheet and their paper matches my paper, it's like they won the lottery. So I really do encourage you guys to use a paper that mirrors whatever it is that they're doing, because it just makes them feel so good inside. It makes them feel warm and fuzzy. I love when they get stuff right. You will hear me tell students to do their little dancey dance, because we celebrate when we get things correct. We celebrate good progress. We celebrate positive things. I can't talk today because I'm all wound up like the babies, but I encourage you to do dictation this way. If this way doesn't work for you, if you do dictation a different way, leave it in the comments. Let me know. I'll try your way too. I love switching it up with my students. Again, they don't like it, but they'll be all right as long as they're learning. There's so much more that goes into dictation, but again, I'm not a coach. I just wanted to come on here and show you how I do it. I just wanted to give some tips and tricks that make my day a little bit easier. As I stated in the intro video, I may not go into depth about everything, but I will at least introduce it, and I will show you how I do it, and that's exactly what we're doing in this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this video is helpful. I hope this entire series is helpful. Please, again, leave me any comments with any questions, any feedback, any tips or tricks that you might have for me. I can't wait to read them. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you turn on your notifications. I'll catch you back here next week.